Today's video, we are going to be prepping for the upcoming homeschool week as well as prepping for next month in our homeschool. So next month is February, and February does have quite a few little holidays that I either like to add into our lesson plans or decorate for. And so I figured I would show you guys how I plan specifically for holidays in our homeschool. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of share my mental process of what I do. So I'm kind of sitting down, I'm done for the day with work, with homeschool with the kids. The kids are busy doing their chores, and so I just kind of have some quiet time to get this done. The first thing is, okay, what's going on in our homeschool next week? And so if you haven't seen any of my Plan With Me videos, both of my daughters have their own homeschool planners. I just go through their curriculum and plan 1 week at a time. So we do school Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So I know they're gonna get a math lesson done each of those days. So I just kind of write in what lessons I want them to complete by looking at what got done this week. So I only plan that way 1 week at a time. So I fill out their planners. That helps them know what they need to do. Because I do work full time, there are times where I am in meetings and I can't necessarily tell them what they need to do because I'm on camera or I'm presenting something. So they can use their planners and they know, okay, I know I can do this curriculum on my own. I need to finish this assignment. Or if it's something that they need me for, they just kind of wait. They either will do chores or go play. And that's kind of how we balance that out because every day is different. So even though I work like a set schedule, my days aren't always the same. Some days I'm in meetings all morning. Some days I'm in meetings all afternoon. Some days I don't have meetings at all. So we kind of just go about it that way where they at least can handle anything independent that they're comfortable doing on their own. So I fill out their planners first. And then I just try to go through any of our unit studies that are coming up that week, and I will either make like a shopping list if there's activities that we're going to be doing. If I need to print anything out, I will do all of that. So for next week in our homeschool, we just finished up a trial of a grammar curriculum, and we're not going to keep using that grammar curriculum. Maybe in the future, but not for the rest of the school year. So there is a different grammar curriculum that we are actually going to be officially starting next week, and that is Guest Hollow's grammar. And so I've already been working through some of it with my second grader, but I decided we're gonna actually do it for both my second and fourth grader. So I'm gonna add to my list right now that I'm thinking I need to print my fourth grader's workbook. So I'm gonna print Guest Hollow grammar for Emma. So I'm going to print hers and get her binder set up. On that same note, I need to organize their binders. Both of my daughters have binders that we use for unit studies. I like giving them just hole punch paper and binders. It just works better. And so I need to clean out their binders because like I said, we've finished some of our curriculum trials that we were doing. And so I need to clean those out. I need to add in their grammar curriculum that we're starting next week. And then I need to make sure that we're on track. They have all the papers they need for the unit study that we're still doing. So we've been doing 2 unit studies from Moving Beyond the Page. We've been doing Charlotte's Web and the water cycle. And so those are like kind of the activities I'll go through. I'll make sure we have the supplies, make sure they have the printouts all in their binders. So that's something else I need to check. And so this is like my teacher guide. And so I make like, for any unit studies, I kind of plan out. And so I know we got behind on one of our lessons because the reading just got messed up this past week. And so I'm going to try to see if we can catch up this week with that. These are like my teacher guides. So I do know too, my daughters have a writing assignment that they need to finish up next week. In my teacher's guide for Charlotte's Web and the water cycle, I just kind of go through, kind of figure out, okay, what material. So this is like super easy. It's just the book and a journal. We're not doing any extra projects. So I kind of just flip through and make sure. Like last week for the water cycle, we were doing a cloud activity, and so I needed to buy extra cotton balls. So just things like that. Sometimes there's nothing to buy, sometimes there's a lot of things to buy. So far I've had to get Skittles and cotton balls. So you could probably just they have a supply list and you could buy everything in the beginning, but week by week just works better for me. We go shopping every week, so it's not a big deal to add it on. Also, when I'm looking at our current unit studies, I really like Moving Me on the Page, and I'm gonna do a whole video on them. But what I like about it is it gives me room to add on if we want to. So it gives me tons of activities and ideas and worksheets, but there are some things that I think my kids could go a little bit more in depth on, especially because I'm using it with 2 different age levels. Just search if I'm like, hey, you know what? I want to do an extra activity on this topic. So like the clouds last week, I wanted to do a hands-on activity. And so I just searched for that and we found it and we did it. And so I'll do the same thing for this upcoming week. And so that is something that I also am going to be doing for the upcoming holidays. So I need to maybe find either a fun Charlotte's Web or water cycle activity, plus for the holidays, I want to be more than prepared, right? So we have less than a month until February. And so in February, it's obviously Black History Month all month long. So I will go and pull out my resource books and I'm going to search for some activities as well. We have Groundhog's Day, which is the 2nd, I think, of February. So that's soon. And then we have Valentine's Day and President's Day. And so I need to figure out what activities I want my kids to do. Are we going to be doing anything on these topics? What do we already have? Where I always start looking online is on my teacher club card. If you've been around my channel, you've heard me share in any of these planning videos, that's normally when I do it. I have my teacher's club card. It costs $2.99 for the entire year. What that gets you is access on Creative Fabrica's teacher portal, their kind of portion of where all the teacher resources are. Once you pay that $2.99, you have full access to download all these for free. So even though you may see something cost like 90 cents or $3 or $10, if you have your teacher's club card, you can download it for free. You do get 5 free downloads per week with your teacher's club card. I've never gone past 5 per week. And I download so when I'm planning for different unit studies, different holidays, this is my very first place to go because I've already paid my $2.99. So I know anything that I find is going to be free. I don't have to pay any extra money, which is my favorite thing to do. If you don't have your teacher's club card yet, I have my link down below. Click on my link. It will take you to the page where you only have to pay $2.99. You'll get access for the entire year, which I'm telling you guys, I use it every time I'm planning. They have stuff for all ages, all grades, but I really use it a lot for my preschooler, pre-K, just because he doesn't have like unit studies. And so I really try to use it to find extra fun things for him so he can feel like he is fitting in with his older sisters, but then he kind of has his own stuff as well. All right, so after I get all my freebies from my teacher's club card, I'll do another search if I'm looking for specific activities. Sometimes I'll find stuff on Instagram through different creators. I'll find stuff on Teachers Pay Teachers. You know, just anything that I want to find, and then I'll either save it or print it out. So I did this a couple weeks ago when I was doing my planning. I found these really cute doodle note printouts for the water cycle. And so these were on Teacher Pay Teachers. I'll link it down below. So it's super cute. It's just like handwritten, hand-drawn, but my daughters can fill in their notes through these lessons. So it's just something extra to go a little bit more in depth. So I have most of these printed. I just need to get them organized for my daughter. And then I have like my teacher guides that I will kind of flip through. And then I'm gonna plan how am I gonna fit these into our existing lessons. So I kind of just get a stack of it until I'm ready to get organized for that. All right, so I'm still making my list. I would show it to you, but I write in like the fastest cursive scribbles ever. So I found activities for the holidays. Now I am doing this pretty early and ahead of time, and specifically on my teacher's club card, a lot of those resources are new. So as it gets closer to these holidays and like Black History Month, I'm gonna be able to go on there and find more recent things. So I'm not done finding resources, but at least I have something. So if all fails and we end up, it's the day, what do I have planned? At least I have something there. So I feel good about that. As far as we'll talk about like maybe decorating for the holidays. Last year I have 2 whiteboards in our homeschool room, and last year I did one for Black History Month and the other one I did for Valentine's Day. So I just had them both decorated all month long. And I didn't really do anything for Groundhog's Day or President's Day. So this year I may be a little extra and decorate for each of the holidays. I'm just trying to figure out Black History Month, what I'm going to use. I still have all of the stuff I had from last year, which I really liked. If I can find what I bought, it was a printable like quotes and stuff that I think I found on Teachers Pay Teachers. I'll link it down below. So I have it all laminated and on magnets that I could just put back up. But we will see. So I'm gonna go on Amazon and kind of just look for different things. I'm gonna pull out all of the resources that we already have, like our books for all the different holidays coming up. And then I'm gonna see if there's any new books that we wanna get. We've really been taking advantage of our library, and so I may just kind of get a few from the library to have. Put that on my list to make a library list. And then also, just so you guys know, I do have a blog, and so what I decided to do is I made an entire post specifically on February holidays for homeschool. And so anything that I find or share, I'm gonna put it on here. So it's gonna be kind of like a living blog post, which means I'll be updating it regularly. I will give you guys some ideas for activities, some of the resources and decorations that we use. So I will link that down below as well. I normally too would update my son's preschool board because his curriculum is kind of week by week. And so I switch out like the letter of the week, his math of the week. But he didn't really do school this past week. All of my kids kind of had a cold. My girls will normally tough through school even when they're not feeling well. But my little one, it's more of like his fun time. And so he just really wasn't into doing school. The board does not need to get updated this week, which is nice. I do need to return some library books. So return and then search for new ones. Clean out binders. I do have a new curriculum coming next week, which I'll be sharing in a different video, but that won't be here till next week, so I won't worry about that this week for planning. I do also have my planner. I made it myself. If you guys didn't know, I'm a really big fan of raccoons. I just really think they're adorable. I know most people think they're just problems and would not like to deal with them, but I really love them. I don't know if I've said this before, but like my dream job, if I could do anything like realistically, would be like a raccoon rehab person. So like when they get abandoned from their moms or they just get injured out like in the wild, I would love to like rehabilitate them and release them back into the wild. So I know that's not a super common like life goal, but I think that would be super fun to do. So if you see a lot of raccoon stuff, I don't think you can see it because it's behind, it's blocked, but I have little like icons everywhere of them. So anyways, that wasn't that important, but okay, so this is my planner. Obviously, if you guys have been around, I'm a YouTuber, so that takes planning. It is more of a hobby for me, and so it does take the back burner to anything else, but I do have a pretty good flow. I've been doing it for a year now, and so how I plan it out is I just have like a monthly calendar, and I just write what videos are posting that day. I normally film a week or two in advance, and so I always film on Fridays because my kids aren't here on Fridays. I finish up work, and then I just bulk film a lot of videos, except these types of videos, because these are like more in the day of what's happening. But my like sit down type videos, I film those in bulk. So I film on Fridays. I'm kind of just planning out videos. I do have brands that I work with, and I have content that needs to be created for them. And so I kind of just write down for the month so I remember those if I'm doing any giveaways. That's kind of how I keep it. And then I also have like a list of video ideas. So I will just like, they'll start popping up into my brain like, oh, I should do a video on that. Oh, I should talk about that. It helps me to just write them as a list down to get them out of my brain, because I don't need anything else taking up space in there. And so I'm just kind of going through, as we're getting to this month ending, I'm kind of wrapping up any new things for this month and planning for the next couple months. So this planner, I just made it myself. It just really helps me stay on track too, so I know what's kind of going on. I'm gonna start printing out the grammar for my other daughter, since we're deciding to do it for both of my daughters. So I'm gonna start printing that, hole punching, and getting their binders organized. You make me nervous. I think I might be hooked on you. All of the things you said to me, it seems like. All right, so I feel very prepared for next week and pretty prepared for the month ahead as far as planning for like these special holidays and stuff. I know those can kind of throw us off and be overwhelming. Don't forget, if you don't have your Teachers Club card already, it's only $2.99. That is like the cheapest I've ever heard for all the curriculum and resources that you get. So if you don't have your Teachers Club card, use my link down below. It's $2.98 for the entire year, and you get access to tons of resources. It's always my first stop when I'm looking for new resources. And then also I am on my blog putting together everything for the month of February for all of the holidays coming up, what decorations I'm getting, what books I recommend, activities. And so that resource is there for you guys, and it's getting updated every day, because as we get closer, I'm finding more and more resources to share with you guys. So go to my blog, save that page, because there's lots of fun stuff on there. I don't know if I'll be doing holiday specific videos for homeschool, but we'll see. You never know. So I hope you guys enjoyed this planning video. I know it was a little bit different than my normal planning videos, but hopefully this helps. If you guys have questions, leave them down below. But that's it for this video. I will chat with you all soon. Bye, guys.